the Hill this morning, so you'll be sure that you can be sure that he's going to be asked about this.
Yeah, not the best timing for the administration. Thank you, White House correspondent Juliana Goldman.
And Sarah, for more, we're going to bring in David Gewirtz. He is a security consultant who worked at the Bush White House on the missing email controversy. He is a member of the FBI's InfraGard program, an author and an executive director of the U.S. Strategic Perspective Institute. David, good morning to you. What is telephone metadata, and why is it of use to the NSA? Should we be concerned that this is being collected from Verizon and, for all we know, from other telephone companies as well?
Yeah, telephone metadata is information like, and good morning, it's information like your phone number, but the most important information about it is not only when you've called and who you've called, but also in many cases with cell phones, where you're located when you've established the call connection. So, for example, the telephone metadata could tell whether or not you went to Starbucks every morning at 8 in the morning and so forth. Should it be of concern? Well, anytime the government monitors its citizens, it should be of concern. The government has a very big challenge, of course, because they're also trying to protect us while at the same time preserve our privacy. And that's, you mentioned Kasparov and Putin. That's the big difference between us and Russia, is that we try very hard to both protect privacy and protect our citizens, and that's not an easy task.
Well, this clearly is your area of expertise, David. Does this constitute, in your mind, an invasion of privacy, knowing for 15 years ago the government couldn't know if I were going to Starbucks because my cell phone, I am pretty sure, didn't send enough location data at the time? Should I feel as though, and I, just like any other citizen of the country, should I, or resident for that matter, should I feel concerned about the fact that they could know that, or wherever else I might be going and making phone calls?
Yeah, I think absolutely. And I think this is a bigger trend, too, because many enterprises are also capturing all sorts of data about our activities. What you buy, where you go, what your interests are. And companies are teaming up to gather some of that information together to market to you as well. So, we're in a big data, metadata-like world now, from Facebook through Twitter all the way on. So the fact that the government's in this game, too, is certainly of much more concern if they decide to go off the reservation and not just prosecute things related to Patriot, but just go into any level of prosecution. But we're in a very different world than we were 15 years ago, and lots of data is a big part of that.
Clearly, in the case of Twitter, if I choose to turn on my location services, I'm providing metadata by choice.
Yep.
But in the case of Verizon, clearly, my metadata isn't going anywhere by choice. I didn't know that the government had access to it. To what degree does this present a corporate risk to companies like Verizon, for example, or any other company that may be subject to this kind of court order that the NSA obtained in order to obtain the metadata?
Well, once data is captured, once data is available, it then can be used in a variety of ways, including being leaked. We have millions of hack attacks going on against the United States at any given time, and so that data might not only be in the hands of Verizon and in the NSA, but if any link in the security chain is broken, it could be in the hands of criminals as well. And once you get location information and that gets into the hands of criminals, that could be a really serious problem, from anything from kidnapping to blackmail to anything else. So, the fact that the data is there is a huge concern. It needs to be cared for very carefully. And, of course, the real question is, in terms of both Verizon and the NSA, is this necessary, or is the government going beyond what it really should be doing?
And that is indeed the question. David, thank you very much. David Gewirtz, he is a security consultant who worked with the Bush White House and currently is a member of the FBI's InfraGard program. Sarah?
Well, I've got another media story out here developing in